Thank you.
All right, AI or not AI? That was Hamlet's real question. Just during those days, they didn't know AI. They thought that AI means to be. My name is George Haber. I was born in Oradea, the only child of Auschwitz survivors from the concentration camps. Here are the documents, and I'll explain why I bring this up. And my parents told me a couple of very simple things, that disappointment is the expectation divided by reality, and life is really tough. People fight for the same limited resources. For some reason, everybody wants the good things. I don't know why. Some cheat and steal it, others give up on life, and if you really want something, you go and fight for it. So going back to Andra's presentation, my goal in life was one door. I only go forward. Now, since the earth is round and the universe is turning, we don't know what forward means actually, but it's in one direction. And only in stories, dreams and desires happen. Hollywood movies really screw us up by creating some expectations that are not realistic. And as they say, only in theory, theory and practice are the same. So, I was a guitar player back in communism, together with Adrian Pintea, was a very famous actor. Those who are my age or your parents know who Adi was. Communism was a fantastic theory. I mean, it sounded so good, but of course it was the biggest bullshit because idiots were running the place. Everybody was equal in theory. In practice, some were more equal than others. And that's why it never worked. I don't know what happened with the presentation. It stopped for some reason. Okay. So, since that was reality, what could I do? Complaining was not an option, because whenever you complained, you got beaten up by the local police. So nothing was available. I had to learn. And since rock and roll and music were my passions, I had to learn how to build things. And started to dream of freedom. In '75, I moved to Israel. I had some family, went to the Technion, studied, became a DJ at the local university, so suddenly I had money. Life was good. I went to the army, got married, graduated, house, car, all the Hollywood dreams, first child, work, and started dreaming about the next big thing, which was Silicon Valley. I realized that I was passionate about technology. I was passionate about being where one has to be, and I built up this simple algorithm in life. If good, enjoy it. If bad, learn from it. Else, try again. Go into an infinite loop. Some conclusions after all these years, life was given to us by our parents. Everything we do will shape who we are. And being a Jew, for me, the most basic commandment in the Bible was, in Hebrew it's called Tikkun Olam, which means make the world a better place than when you found it. And I want to tell you, one of the most inspirational things that happened to me was I went to an elderly home to visit somebody. And when you go to this elderly home, you see 90% of the people complaining, and oh, and there was one guy that was smiling. He probably lost his mind just like I did, but I decided I want to be like that, because complaining doesn't help. Smiling is what makes the world go round. In this spirit, moved to Silicon Valley, worked at Sun Microsystem, Daisy Systems, Silicon Graphics, and then it hit me that, it's about time to start a couple of startups. And I became famous, looked better when I was younger, I guess, maybe not. Made it in lots of newspapers, made some money, lost some money, but the most important part was that I decided to learn from what happened to me and how in the beginning billions of dollars of hardware became pure software because this thing happened, digitization. That was the biggest revolution in the 60s. And audio, video, everything went from digital to, from analog to digital. And in a way, it's very similar to what is happening today with AI, by the way. And this is how I decreed my laws. In '93, I said, if it can be done in software, it will. You can find all this on LinkedIn as well. In 2016, I said, if it can be done in software, AI will do it better. Most people had no idea what AI means during those days. In 2020, I said, hey, AI does it better if it can be done. And last year, I told you, and you must abide by this law, AI is anti-fragile. Those who don't know what anti-fragile means, I recommend to read Nassim Taleb's book, Skin in the Game. That will explain to you that anti-fragile means something that corrects itself, learns from its own mistakes. And that's what AI does. So, AI or not AI is the question, but is it the only question? That's the big mystery of life. Just to tell you a big secret, AI is not artificial. The name is wrong. And it's misleading because AI is the scrubbing of some of the human experiences. And that little word some means a lot because not everything was scrubbed. Not everything was LLM stored into some database. And it gives us mere humans access to all that accumulated information through an LLM that explains things at the level that we are asking for. And because AI or humans cannot yet, and that yet is very important because Elon Musk is working on Neuralink and other things, read our mind. If we are asking vague questions, we may get the bad answer. The same is true from an AI, the same is true from people, cats, dogs, and other animals. Now, looking back historically, intelligence is actually understanding information. And, you know, the caveman information was drawing something on the wall, and the next cave woman or man that came in understood something from that drawing. Then Moses came down with the 10 commandments. There was a movie I highly recommend that shows that he lost one of those tablets, that the world is imperfect. The next progress was the invention of paper that allowed information and knowledge to spread faster and faster. Then this guy, Gutenberg, invented something called the press, where he didn't have to scribe. Then radio was invented by Macroni, and people started listening to information from far away. And the next things were basically computers and the internet, and all that leads to where we are today. Now, in Romanian there is an expression, prost să fii, noroc să ai. And me being prost, but with noroc, I was lucky to be at the right place and the right time. In 2012 at Stanford University, there was a competition called ImageNet or ARPANET, and me being in the digital video compression part, I donated a couple of images that in this competition were supposed to be recognized by software. And for a long time, 2 or 3 years, only about 10% of these images that were actually labeled data, because there was an image and there was a text describing what's in the image, were able to be recognized until a guy by the name of Ilya Shushkever came from Toronto to Stanford and said, "You guys are all stupid. I mean, instead of trying to write an algorithm, create a network, work like the human brain." And that's when the whole explosion of AI started. Basically, sorry if I go back, all this progress started from there with a lot of brilliant people. And today we are at the point of AGI, of intelligence that matches and exceeds our intelligence if we like it or not. And what this means for all of us is a complete change of our life and of our family's life. And it's just crazy. So, out of all the AI solvable problems, I thought, why not, since I'm still young, I'm only 47 in hexadecimal, if those of you who can compute what that means in decimal, if not, I still feel young. I said, why don't I use AI to solve the world's most difficult problem, which is healthcare? What is the problem? Well, what is healthcare actually? Should be simple, right? But it's not, because healthcare is a global crisis. It's the world's most expensive and regulated industry in the world. There are 10 people that write laws of how to do it for everyone that actually does it. Patients, medical staff, managers, regulators, insurance actually are all in conflict. They are fighting with each other. The patient has a problem. The doctor cannot solve it until gets paid by the regulator, who writes a new law that this problem shouldn't be. So no one is happy. It's basically a managed chaos. And everything is changing all the time, by the way, because of the fantastic progress. New medical procedures appear every day, and new technology and new medication, and nobody knows how to do it properly. And if you think about it, what AI can do the best actually is synchronizing conflicting interests, take the needs of patients, medics, law, regulation, dreams, desires, and bring them together and solve it in a way which, based on first principles, first, do not harm, relieve suffering. Everything we do has to be fully transparent, make all the information super easy and simplify it. And what we have created is basically a Zen at the power of AI, becomes an operating system, which is our name, Zen AI OS, that uses specialized MCP agents to represent and arbitrage all the needs and wants and the desires of all the participants, patients, medical staff, facility managers and regulators. And thank you for being here, our CTO, Vlad, who is the genius behind all this architecture, and implemented it properly. And just imagine, dream with me. Think about the blue side. What happens when, from a worsening global crisis, we go to an improving nirvana? Everybody is happy. The most important and expensive heavily regulated industry becomes the most important and affordable cooperative discussion, where patient, medical staff work together because they have a common interest to solve the problem and not to fight. And there are thousands of other opportunities in AI to automate everything, enhance diagnosis, way ahead of time for everybody, not only for the super rich. And that's what we are working on. In intelligent healthcare, every medical financial decision is based on real-time data. Management has full control over decisions, arbitrage, who gets what, and results in significant saving lives, transparency, optimization, better performance metrics, and so on and so forth. And you can try it. You can go to our own website, download the app, play with it, and see how it works. Basically, we have a patient module that takes care of the needs of the patient. We have a module for the doctors that get all the advice, help regarding the patient and available resources. We have a module for a streamlining of operation, because if the patient and the doctor have a need and the hospital does not have the resources, that's a problem. So all this has to be together, and all under the proper legislative framework which differs in each and every country. Then, at the power of AI becoming an OS, enables us to create an intelligent healthcare. And that intelligent healthcare, you can scan, test it. It will take you to our website. Come join the revolution. Let's make Romania the world's first completely automated. We have the working solution in my hometown, in the Spitalul Oradea. Technology is very complicated. Don't steal Vlad, because without him we are in trouble. It's RAG and MCP agent advocating for all the patients and everything that needs to be done. Easily to deploy either locally or through the cloud. I don't think we are working with Amazon yet, but I think we have now a person to talk to. And I want to make it into a global standard. We want to take all the hospitals in Romania, implement this technology, and then scale up globally to go from tragedy to a nirvana, happy cooperation and healthcare in the world. Here are some pictures and some local newspaper articles from Oradea Hospital where this thing is working. And I want to thank you for listening.